jump right in, 'cause we going farther than we ever been. I'm out in the water, come jump right in. We going farther than we ever been.
Did I fuck it up?
Is it not plugged in?
No.
I'm just running the sensor.
Try. Might not be plugged in.
Episode 30.
Can't
Gotta do everything around here.
Can't get it together.
Sorry, not plugged in.
Yeah.
I'm
not happy.
Big black
Sorry,
story.
how to give a story. No, I'm supposed to have my haircut.
Try it now.
And then
Ooh, Ocean Waves, episode 30.
episode 30.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Officially caught up. You check the levels. Make sure that.
Looks
as
pretty
people-
good
okay,
so
cool.
far.
Yeah, officially caught up. Every recorded podcast has been released. 30 weeks in. Episode 30.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. 30. I didn't even think of 30 weeks in.
Yep.
We're halfway to a year.
Over half.
A year of potting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over half a year.
On the way.
Okay, I'm just going to jump right into it.
I mean, it is.
It is. Okay,
What's
okay.
30 plus 30?
60.
51.
Okay, so my idea, which I explained in I think when me and Ryan were just talking, I did start writing that script from that one podcast, but then as I was writing it, I got to a point where I was like, I didn't actually have a point to the story. I was just writing a story, and then I was like, I don't really want to write a story that has no point, or try to fit a point into the story, like just make one up and try to make it fit what I already wrote. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have what I'm gonna take as my center subject, and I'm gonna take that as the music videos. So I'll pick a song, take that, and then write, instead of just doing a music video like traditional, write a story that has lines and a script and da-da-da-da for the music video. And that's how I'm going to start writing to check the music video box, and then also just to do something different and write like scripts and shit. So my idea for the brainstorm one is we get the 4 Pokemon costumes, which can be any Pokemon you want to pick. It's your choice. I have the recommendations that I think Ryan should be Gengar, you should be Charizard, you should be Mewtwo, and I'll be Umbreon. But you can pick whatever one that's on the list of what we can buy there. So if you really feel strongly about one, I'm not going to stop you. But I recommend these ones, right? So then I want it to be a story where it doesn't have to be Carter, but I just thought it'd be funny if it was Carter. Carter being like getting his first starter Pokemon, right? So like we can get him the Ash Ketchum outfit. Like if we want to do this, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think it would just be funny. Then we have like a Professor Oak, so we can get like a fake old man haircut. Someone can wear that. And essentially the video starts with like, oh, you're now at the age where you're about to get your starter Pokemon. These are your options. And be like, your first option. And then and we have like a Pokeball. We can get little Pokeballs. And then it like kind of like, we can have the shot kind of zoom into the Pokeball, and then it shows you. And then it would be like, because my verse is first, right? So it'd be me in the Umbreon costume. And then I just do a traditional rap style video for my verse, where I'm like in front of the camera just rapping my verse. It's like your sales pitch. Like as your Pokemon, like pick me as your starter. That you're making like a sales pitch, but you're rapping your video, right? And then it zooms back out. Like that was your first one. And then, so it's like this part of the song's right there. And then you go back to the script, like, and then essentially go through every single one of our Pokemon. And at the end, it'd be like, the thing is like, so, which one will you choose? And then the final shot is like Carter from the back of his head with the 4 Pokeballs, and the shot just kind of like zooms up where he's looking at his 4 choices, like, well, how will I start my journey type shit. That's the idea I had for the video. So make it like you're picking your first starter, and we just, in the Pokemon costumes, incorporate us just being in the costume. I think it'd be funny just because it's like kind of goofy, especially if we do it. Doesn't have to be Carter, but if you guys want to do that and we put Carter in the video, then I think it would just be hilarious because he's a small child, like,
yeah, he's been like, really into the Pokemon lately too, so he'd probably like that.
So he'll probably pick Charizard.
I feel like it'd also be pretty cool if like we had him like fantasizing. You know what I'm saying?
We could do that.
Like the shop, like a mall or a park or something like that, where it's like dancing and he's in the video with us, and we're like
okay,
or like be battling or something.
Yeah, all that could be incorporated into it. Like the shots can be
We
try to make it like a Pokemon. Like if we capture the thing of Pokemon, I like that. We can go into like instead of just traditional rapping in front of the camera, it can be like battles and shit. Like I don't know how much we can do with effects and shit, but if we could do some sort of effects,
yeah,
it would be interesting. So,
alright, so my only counter would be
to that would be, instead of like choosing your starter, to further incorporate that aspect of like how you were talking about the videos, wanting them to be story. So instead of it being like choose your starter, you're his starter, and then it's going through, and then
He's capturing all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Your versus next.
As
And
soon
so,
as you
like,
said it, like,
You can pull out the,
So, like-
because we were thinking about doing like the Pokédex or whatever. I was like calling it Ocean Mon. So, like,
Yeah.
Ocean Mon. The
Especially
flying.
the way like mine and Ryan's versus Lay too, how I'd want to do that is like he catches like you're with him already, he catches Eddie,
Yeah.
and then gets attacked by Ryan.
So okay.
I think we should
And,
make
like-
it like
So we could go
we
into
should
the
make it like an
Pokédex.
episode of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like it's a 20 like a
Yeah, because
it's
it could be
like-
the Pokedex and it'd be like Oceanmon, Gwenzar. You know what I mean? And we could put that as like the voiceover into the thing,
That'd be hilarious.
and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta catch him," or whatever Carter does on the camera for whatever making it the scene. You know what I mean? I think that would be hilarious. So all we need is the costumes, and then I guess the ideas of
Ideas,
the script,
just
or like the idea, like where
scenes
from
and,
what, yeah, scenes.
and then also we have to I mean I have the green screen, so we could try to tap into that, but also I was thinking we could even like just do like little animations. Like we could start practicing animation with this. Like okay, just do a little, even if it's the ball opening up or like the red, like the light shooting out. And we can just kind of make, and even if it looks like kind of cheesy on the video.
Yeah, I don't
but,
care
like,
if it looks bad, honestly. Like, I
But
just want to do it, and wherever our skills are to the max capacity they are, and every asset, that's where I want it to be.
What it kind of makes me think about is, yeah, thanks guys. The like the I don't know, it overwhelmed me.
I'll take it away.
Is the like family YouTube channels that they do, and all of their effects are always kind of cheesy, but yet it draws in audiences of 1 million. You know, because it's a cute,
True.
it's a good idea. You know.
What if like me and you are Carter's Pokemon, and Calvin and Ryan are Amber's Pokemon, and they battle?
That could be cool, too.
That would be dope.
Yo, then what the scene could be is, in the beginning, if we do make it a full episode, if I'm his starter, he could capture Eddie, and then Ryan's third. So then we were battling Ryan as a wild Pokemon, but then Amber comes in right when Ryan's about to be defeated and steals the capture. So it's like, and he's like, oh, and then he has to,
Like
but then you're
thunder.
Amber's Pokemon, so it's a battle, and then yeah, that'd be fire.
Well, so alright, where my brain kind of was, right, and I like that. So do that with Eddie, right? To where, because here's my thought process. He's using you to capture Eddie. Eddie's almost captured. Amber comes, steals him, throws out Ryan as Gengar, and then right before Carter gets mollywop, Mewtwo comes in
Oh shit.
and like just resets the table.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be dope.
And because I was thinking like in terms of our verses, that's the reason I want like Ryan to be Team Rocket Pokemon. It's just so like.
Oh, we could get Amber the Team Rocket.
It does make sense.
right?
Yeah.
I like it. I like
It
it.
But it
does
has
make
to be
sense.
O.
Especially
It
if
has to
he's
be.
gay.
Yeah, it has to be a O.
It has to be an O. Like we can make a shirt.
There's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But,
Or yeah, just
especially.
but basically, my thought was like,
Or we use these shirts as like the Team Rocket shirts. Like these ones right here, what we already
True.
have.
I was thinking that to try to incorporate like people that we know, like as many people as we can, just kind of get people activated with a sense of like if we have other ideas, then it's like, oh, we need an extra for this or we need that. We can just like people, and then people that might not even be thinking about it might find some sort of enjoyment or passion for it, and then we can unlock. So like Josh, for instance, I was thinking ask Josh to be Professor Oak, you know, because he's like an
That'd be
older
fire.
dude.
Oh,
We can get him
yeah.
the nice hair or whatever, and then anyone else who wants to play a role that we can find that are like
And that can be right in the beginning.
that you vouch for, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Then it would be cool because then as time goes on, we might do like a zombie apocalypse video or whatever the video might be, and then people might start to. The fuck?
zombie apocalypse.
I don't have
What's
it.
your-
You gotta hit 100.
Sorry, guys.
That was 80, but
Why does it do that?
It's got a whole bunch of different
80 is fine.
settings. Like
Yeah.
it can
Where's, like,
like
is the house burning
strobe
down?
slowly. You can go like
Oh, that's a setting. People choose to have it do
Yeah.
that.
yeah. You can do
people
one
choose
like
to have a seizure.
it's crazy. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Oh, I, like
I was
that
thinking
one.
for the intro, instead of doing something super fancy, yeah, we just use
I've offered
this.
that, but not yet.
Like for the intro card.
I've thought about it, but not yet.
Like we could just put record
Ah,
that.
yeah.
And fade it out.
Yeah. Yeah, fade it out, fade it in slow mo. Like that part right there in slow mo.
Yeah.
Calvin doesn't like your idea.
What about the outro?
Right now the
Okay, you're
outro
gonna
has
give me
just
a
been
I'm trying to find
Working
the
on
regular
intro
one.
Go stream the
part,
Guru.
so
Oh,
Guru right now.
I don't want to say anything else.
I
in
don't
the
know where the
intro.
regular mode
Is
is.
it?
Oh, that one.
Well, I
is
know,
definitely-
but-
there we go, okay.
Seizure warning.
I edited them all. I've done what I've done my part, for instance.
No, I respect that.
So for
Well,
now
let's
we're on
talk about
30.
the
Now we
idea.
now it's like the amount of time to spend on is I have way more free time on my hands than I did last week.
Did you like the picture?
I did. You know what's funny? I waited for you even in the morning. I waited overnight to bounce it, and then when I put it in, I saw there was like the line, and I was like, "Oh, you said crop it." I was like, "Shit, I need to crop it." So I went back to the phone, but I cropped the first one you sent, not even knowing, like not even thinking. I just was doing it, and I put it up, and I was like, "Ooh!" So subconsciously, I took the first version anyway, and I was just like, "That's just the universe telling." Where the sign's a little lower,
Okay.
but not really like whatever. So I was like, yeah. So whatever that. So it was just like using showing each version as they go along the way, basically. So. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I really tried to use a new one, but I just,
But now we still have the new one.
yeah, I subconsciously did that. So, but yeah, it was definitely, that was clutch. That was clutch.
You know what I like about you, Ryan? You know how to turn anything into a positive. Because me, I would have been like, oh, I just messed it up. Like, so mad at myself. And then I did this. But you're like, nope, that was purposeful, even if it wasn't purposeful.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate that
you know,
mindset.
it bounced for like 3 hours, and I'm just like, I'm not waiting anymore. Like,
Right.
I gotta put it up. Like
Yeah.
Wednesday's ending soon. You know what I mean? So, but now that everything's out, we're up to date. Wednesdays at 12:00 noon every week.
Yo, we did a
I'm
morning
down.
one, and that one felt cool because at the end of the day, it feels almost like the ideas that I come up with are like, oh, we should do this. But it's like later ideas. Or like you reminisce on what was going on. But in the morning, I felt like, oh, I want to do this and this and this today. So I had like 3 things I wanted to do, and I did like 2 of the 3 things that I wanted to do that day.
Boo.
Well, the third one was get the costumes, and you never messaged me back. So
Oh,
boo
That's
to you.
on you.
It's on him.
I have $50.
All right, that actually
I
brings.
spent like $600 over the
Well,
last 2 days.
what about in like 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks? I'll have it.
Okay, because
Alright.
that's when I get back to work.
So-
Well, like 10 days.
I spent.
Because I'm not gonna do it until I get back to work.
He's cute. That's on me.
So that brings me to the comment segment of the podcast. So Pokey Sparky is at this point the top commenter,
Nice.
probably #1 fan of the Ocean Waves podcast. So we
Sparky,
appreciate
thank
you.
Shout out.
It's
Alright.
actually Pokey Sparky's idea to do the couples.
Oh, we don't know.
Oh no, we know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's someone that we've known for a long time.
Yeah, he
Aw.
was, I don't want to say.
Yeah, we'll tell you afterwards.
Hashtag
But
loyal.
he's been commenting.
Biggest fan of the
He-
Ocean Waves podcast.
I think
That's
he-
all I needed to know.
He
My
might be
bad.
the only person on the entire planet to have watched every single one.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I edited them, but I didn't watch every second, I guess.
How dare
So
you?
he might be the only person in the whole world that's besides us doing them.
You know
actually
what?
watch
We
it.
need to do a sneak podcast without Ryan, so he doesn't have the claim to fame of being
Yeah.
on all of them.
That's the only reason why you would do it, though, just to spite me. I know for a fact. Sunday would roll around, y'all would be like, eh. But like, just to spite me, you'd be like, let's do one.
We have a secret
You were out
podcast.
of
Is
town,
it?
I wanted to so bad.
Didn't happen.
And
So.
then it just didn't happen.
Just-
But also, to be fair, before I went out of town, I did an extra one because I knew for a fact that y'all wouldn't do one. So there was an extra one. I was like, I just doubled
See,
over
but
that
how do you know we didn't do it? Because you did the extra.
because you would have brought it up to my face by
the
now.
alternate.
But,
account.
like,
Because Jason
subconsciously.
pointed out to us that Ryan already did one, so he just kept it
No, I
back.
didn't. I didn't say anything to Jason either.
But he pointed it out to us, and you saw it on.
Jason
knew you
did
were
want to
gonna do it.
He did want to open up cards on it, but I just felt like talking, so I was
Oh
just
yeah, I
like,
wanted to do one where he opened up because I got like a bunch of those Disney, like the card game, the new card game, and I wanted to open those packs up and do like that. I don't know. Well, Ryan,
all right,
I
so
want to play Toy Story.
I do want to play Toy
I want
Story.
to play Toy Story too.
he said he commented on the morning one, the one we did the other day. He said the morning podcast is dope. Full day ahead of you, and the vibes are very optimistic. Congratulations on 100 subscribers. Do you have any
Oh, wow, I
ocean
didn't even know
shirts
we got
for
100
sale?
subscribers.
Hey, guys, that's
Shout out.
big.
Nice.
And he asked if we had any shirts for sale, so we'll get back to you on that for sure, man.
We should send him a sweatshirt.
Yeah, we. Yeah. Oh, true. I do.
You
I
guys
think I have
should do
extra
it.
one.
You guys should, yeah, you should have done a giveaway for 100 too.
We will.
Well, that's
Well,
our
I'm just
giveaway.
gonna give it away to him.
Give it away for 100 subscribers, Pokey Sparky.
Point to the top.
You're the winner.
Congratulations.
So,
I got you.
For
Everybody
everybody
else.
between any of the comments that are down there, Pokey Sparky.
All right.
Everybody else start commenting. If
He
you're
also
watching,
commented
comment.
on.
You
He
might catch
commented
some swag.
on one that he said that you were right about Lampoon being like
Thank you.
a big thing.
My boy,
That's all
National
right.
Lampoon.
Yeah, and then he also.
See, here we go again.
I'm all about local Lampoon. Or
Okay.
statewide.
And then he also said that your verse in Brainstorm was fire and that you should spit it.
My verse?
Yeah.
Right now?
He said so clean.
I bet.
He needs to spit that so clean.
Like right now?
No.
And then
you're talking about
you were in
should
here-
you replace your verse.
Oh, facts.
You were in here last time,
Seal of
and
approval.
he also commented about how he noticed that we got heated on that one podcast.
Oh yeah.
And he said that what I see is 4 people having passion towards something they care about. You all want to put together something great. No worries, all part of the journey.
That was
Nobody
when
said
we
it would be
argued,
easy.
right?
Yeah.
Always rooting for you.
You too.
So. Oh no, it was like a group.
It was me and Ryan.
Except for Eddie, actually.
Yeah.
I was like the.
Eddie was just kind of sitting there.
There were, even though you weren't mediating
This was
either.
Ryan
Yeah.
said something
I
to
was
me
watching
that
there.
Ryan heavily disagreed with, and I disagree with what he said. So it was like this 3-way argument where it was like,
because he wasn't agreeing with me either.
Yeah.
So it was just like we were all just standing on our point.
Yeah.
because Calvin directed something at me, and then Ryan like said something about it. So Calvin was like, I wasn't even talking to you. And I didn't agree with what he said. So I was like, no, I don't agree with that. So it's a big argument. It was fun though. I was having a great time.
It's triggering me.
I'm trying to find the right setting, but Ryan
Just hit 100.
I did 100, and then all of a sudden.
Well, it's probably not the wiring. Probably.
Try
He's
the
a-
I don't know.
You guys
It wasn't
fucked it
plugged
up.
in to start.
Thank you, Pokey.
Pokey Sparky,
Shout
yes,
out.
sir.
Shout
Appreciate
out.
you.
So, real quick, a marketing thing I think you guys should do for that. I think you should take this clip of, like, you talking about top commenter, 100 subscribers, and a giveaway. We should take that clip and, like, a picture of the sweatshirt, like, folded up nicely somewhere, and then post both of those things on the Instagram and TikTok.
And YouTube.
And what?
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Well, yeah. Like a YouTube short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. And be like, like, go subscribe to our podcast. We do giveaways, like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah,
Could do next giveaway at like
like
250.
like 250 or
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
That'd be a good
That's all
one.
you gotta, but you gotta be active, and not just with what we watch.
'Cause, I
Any
mean, we can-
content creator, you
Yeah.
have to be active. You have to subscribe. You have to share. You have to like, because that's how they get to do what they're doing.
And it stands out, especially now, because there's not that many people listening, so it's really easy to stand out now.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the bare minimum.
I would
comment,
say
like,
there's a
subscribe,
solid,
and
like-
you'd stand out.
Looking at the stats, like when I see them, there's a solid like 4 people that definitely watch it. Like every week, every time it comes out, they watch at least some of it.
Which is dope.
But I don't know. I only know one for sure. So shout out to you.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
other ones too.
Yeah, shout out to everyone.
But don't be afraid to comment. Make a ghost
Yeah.
account if you're afraid to show your name
By
Yeah.
all means.
and use your ghost account.
Ocean
'Cause
Waves
we wanna
episode
know,
30.
It's not just about what we think. We want to know what you think about what we think. That's why we put it out for you. We just have this conversation if we didn't want you to.
We
That's
did.
a noble conversation.
We did have a. Last time on 29, I said that we have something big for 30. But we had to pivot. So we did have an idea for this episode. We had to pivot for the day. But we will bring that episode soon. So
Coming soon
so now we're just kind of freestyling.
to a movie theater.
Oh, I also looked up Eddie and I when he did the podcast 28. We were talking about the study where people had to press the buttons, like press the button. Basically, they were trying to figure out. I'm just gonna read you the
Where
name
you zap the person.
because we were saying it just like that. Where it's like but I found the study
I
name.
thought we were just talking about buttons. I have
Uh,
with pressing buttons.
The Stanley Milgram experiment, understanding obedience, and then it was in the 60s, and it's examined people's willingness to obey an authoritative figure, even when that obedience caused harm to others. So basically, it would be like if they answered the question wrong, you would like shock them, and then they would turn up like it was like 1 through 10. So it would turn up like the level of like how hard it was or how much pain. And then basically, just a long story short, it came down to let me get the stat. Here we go. So basically, and it was done at Yale. So there was a 65% obedience rate, basically.
Do you want me to give you a summary of what the thing? I know what you're talking about.
Sure. Okay. You can
Okay.
give
So
your
the summary of it was they took a bunch of people, and who all signed up. They randomly assigned some people as the authoritative figures, like the guards or whatever, and then some people as like the prisoners. I think that's what when you're talking about.
No, that's
Stanford.
Oh, okay. So then
both of them.
The other one then what you're talking about is they had the people with the button and had someone telling them to push the button, knowing that there was someone on the other side who was going to get zapped, but there was no actual thing zapping them. They were faking it.
Yeah.
And like the majority of the people pushed it, even though they thought knew it was wrong.
So 65% of people did it. Like they're basically they were obedient, basically. And then 14 laughed nervously. Then they did it in a place that wasn't like Yale. It was in like a worn down like barn or whatever, not barn, but factory or whatever. And only 47.5% were obedient. So they were saying that the more like prestigious areas gets people to like fall in line but then the more like run down areas are like against authority. You find like more like that. And then with absent authority, it was 22.5% obedient. So, but basically I don't remember what our thing was, but when we were going back and forth, we were just spinning out like loose summaries. So I wanted to bring up the study now just to reiterate.
We were pretty on base, but like we were off on a couple of things.
So do you think that has more to do with obedience or empathy?
I think a lot of it has to.
I guess that's the battle though. Is like, should you be obedient or should you empathize with the person?
Yeah.
My point. I thought that what I took from it is that it shows that people can be influenced to do something that's maybe not in their nature or like you would consider human nature. You wouldn't just like go shock people randomly, but then you have this outside force that is authoritative or looked at whatever, and they get you to do it, and the people are influenced to do things that they might not necessarily do without that external force.
I would say that specific example is actually more to do with obedience and empathy, because the empathy stayed the same because they didn't see the other person, so that factor stayed the same. What changed was how the authority figure was being displayed. They showed it in like the nice area or like the factory or like the no authority. But what didn't change is what they were actually seeing. If they had like, oh, you can see them get shocked versus don't see them get shocked, I think that would play with empathy. But that part didn't change. That stayed the same. So I feel like it's obedience because it was like the only thing that changed was the authority figure. Right? The empathy was like a constant. Sure. Static dynamic.
And so the Stanford experiment was they put it like they're in like a prison or whatever.
Yeah, essentially.
Some were randomly.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
some were randomly prisoners.
Essentially, they made some people guard just randomly or whatever, and they made some people
flip coins.
Yeah,
and that was like basically like showing you power.
And like how
trips,
far people
right?
would take it, and like people took it really having the power, and they didn't really step in. They just let them do shit, like let them do it, and like people took it like really far. Like they had like really abusive guards and shit. And like the interviews afterwards, the guy's like, I have no idea why I did that.
Couldn't tell they weren't actually in captivity. That's what tripped me out. It really is setting. And that's like, and one of the things that made me think about is like getting the punishment of being sent to your room, right? And just that is in a way captivating you because of whatever you did. I just think it's such a mental, just like marring when you're in captivity. Everything in our being is made to be able to just do as we please and have choices. And yeah, there's that conscience that tells us to make the right choice. But at the end of the day, it's still a choice. Even if you're devoted to making the right one, devoted to make the wrong one, you're still making a choice every single time.
Yeah. And
so stripping the choice from another person is wild to me.
That's the entire podcast pretty much. Eddie and I were talking about was that my stance is that we should have the choice. No matter what, no matter if you choose to do it or not, you should always have the choice. And that was basically where my stance was on it. on
Yeah.
that. But also, I think to touch on it, I think it really shows you like how much environment influences people in general.
Yeah.
If you're in a desert place, like you got to drink more water. If you're in like a snowy place, you got to be like more careful how you walk. If you're in like a forest area, you got to be aware of like the animals and stuff, right? Versus like, you know, and I think that tests to the Yale thing, like being like this like prestigious viewed place versus like a rundown area. You might be more susceptible to different things in different areas. And then I think just also, I guess, how you grow up, all that stuff matters and like kind of molds you or shapes you into a certain way, or people tend to fall into these same tendencies where I guess you could get like stereotypical if you like looked at it like, oh, they're in a trailer park or they're in like a mountain area or they had a population of 400 people in their town versus New York City kid. You know, I think all that stuff plays a huge role in development and like growth.
I remember hearing about one study, and maybe we should look this one up too. But it was about like kids, like a first grade teacher, like ran a study with the kids, teach them like what racism felt like and like looked like, right? And so like I think like either she did it by hair color or like eye color, but I think it was eye color, and she was like, if you have blue eyes, then you couldn't do a certain thing, or like you had to like have like people with brown eyes happen to do certain things, but they didn't do it with you. And by the end of the experiment, or like the next day, they switched it so that the kids with brown eyes would have to do the same thing that the kids with blue eyes did. And by the end of the experiment, like all the kids are crying, they're all like super upset.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look it up real quick just to get a clarification of it.
I was about to go to another kind of same lines, different thing, but I kind of wondered, not to bring sex into it, but if they had done the prison experiment with women, how that would have been different.
I feel like it would have been so much worse.
Kind of.
Genuinely.
I think it takes women a longer time to get to that place.
Yeah,
though.
it would have been
That's
1,000%. It would have been a worse curve
because I think
because it would have lasted longer.
Yeah, because I think women tend to have more structure than men do, like in a sense like that. Because then I was gonna say there was a project that I think it was just like a fun like social experiment they did on YouTube where they had a house full of boys ages like 8 to like 13 and a house full of girls that were around the same age. And they let them go. They did not have any adult supervision in the house whatsoever. The boys ate through all the food, trashed the house, forts everywhere, Nerf guns everywhere, bullets everywhere. It's like tore up within like 3 hours of the house. And the girls, it switches to the girls, and they're like in there like making dinner and like, you know, playing with their dolls. You know what I mean? And just kind of, I think, and so that's what I was like. I think eventually it would get there because girls are mean.
Do you think there's more? If it was like an all male or all female experiment or whatever, do you think there'd be more like prison guard sexual abuse on prisoner in the female one or the male one?
The female one.
Agreed.
Like
I agree with
females-
that. Like
Wait,
the
all
female,
females are all males?
Yeah,
all
yeah.
females are all males. There's going to be more sexual assault with the females.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Because
I agree.
I have a family member who works in the prisons, and she's working with all men, and she does have to deal, like, you know, they have to make you very aware of, like, she's dealing with them in a room where they have free range, you know what I mean? And so she has to be very careful what she wears, what she says, how she stands. But she's made a relationship with these guys and it's okay. But then her boss was telling her about going into the women's prison. He's like, yeah, you're going to have an even harder time in there. Like, they're going to sexualize you even more than the men do. And I thought that was very interesting.
Maybe because, I mean, I don't know.
That's not, like, in terms of graphs, because even when you looked at, when you look at the Stanford prison project, like, it's very linear. The longer time goes, the more they get immersed, the worse it gets. I feel like with women, that's going to be more of a bell curve, where it's flat, plateaued, there's peace, they're all ha ha ha, very funny.
And then it just goes.
And then a couple things there, here, and then it's going to fly way past the worst thing that ended up happening with the guys.
Cliquey, So you
Yeah.
have this group, this, and the men are all for
Yeah.
you gotta defend yourself.
Well, I think also this is a weird way to describe it, but women are more. I think feminine energy. I don't want to say women and male, but feminine energy is more acute in detail, meaning it's picking the smallest details and like ripping them apart.
Mm-hmm.
And men are more obtuse, whereas like, yo, we need to go to the store. I'm looking if Eddie is dressed and ready to go. Like, are your shoes on? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like nothing else. We need to go to the store. Are you ready to go to the store? What do you need to go to the store? The women might look at it like, oh, we're going to the store. Is my hair right? Like, is my makeup right? Is my outfit right? Where the guys is like, I wouldn't even look if Eddie's shirt matched his shorts at all, because I don't give a fuck at all. It doesn't make a difference to me. But you might look at it a little different. You might be like, oh, like,
I'm like, you got the same sock on?
yeah, like, do those socks match? Like, how long you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when the feminine energy is more acute in detail than so maybe I would say that's why that it would be harder in that situation, because the woman would understand those acute details a bit more than the man would.
Yeah.
Generally, because it's just gender roles, and every one of us has masculine and feminine energy. It's just how much is displayed.
Yeah.
Within all of us. But I think feminine energy is more acute. It's more artistic.
Do you guys want to do the prison project with women? You guys want to fund that?
No, not really.
I would be down to do our own
Do our own.
Ocean-
No, we wouldn't be friends afterwards. I don't think.
ocean Stanford experiment. Ocean experiment.
We lock
Right after the
ourselves.
hunger strike.
We flip.
Right after, are we still doing that?
I mean, I'm down whenever, any day of the week. If someone throws up hunger strike in the group chat, it's on, dude.
It's
Comment
on.
hunger strike. We get 100 likes on the comment.
Jason talks so
That's
big.
like
The second
you
he's
get 0 likes on the comment, that's when you're hungry, right?
You know what? I actually thought about going on a hunger strike yesterday because I was in a bad mood. I was like, fuck everybody, I'm going on a hunger strike.
Right, he
But
talks
then-
so big. The second the first glizzy
Why are
he
you in
sees,
a bad
the
Why-
first glizzy he sees is
Hold on,
going
hold on.
down.
The only
so
way I'm
fast.
folding is if I see a glizzy.
Dude, why are you in a bad mood, dude?
Was it yesterday or
Yeah.
2 days ago, man?
Okay, because yesterday you had your day to yourself. I was like, who are you just walking around in a bad mood by yourself?
What did I do?
It was like his first day by himself in like
Matt,
a month.
Kate,
Like,
no get glizzies to gobble.
I was like, no glizzies around.
the audacity of this man to pull out his camera. Like,
Oh yeah, I
I
got
didn't
Ryan.
buy
So
it.
Ryan knew it as soon as I was pulling it out. Ryan knew he
Yeah.
was gone because he had
Yeah.
a big chomp. He just took a bite of. Like,
that was like all in. Like,
He was-
Glizzy cam.
he was done.
Glizzy
Um,
Can we cut to the glizzy cam?
But I realized this. Right?
Down like that.
As the
I
editor
realize this.
now.
If the hunger strike is actually enacted, it can't be an emotional decision.
Yeah.
And that's that. That's what I realized within myself that day. Because I was like, should I do it? And I was like, nah, I'm making an emotional decision. So if I'm going to do a hunger strike, it's because I got to be at peace and be like, you know what? I'm going to go
This
on my
is
hunger strike.
important enough.
Yeah. It's got to be that. It's got to be like a calculated.
You don't think emotions and calculation can exist together?
They can, but I think for this one, it can't be emotional. Because the reason why is
Is
because
it not?
you
Saying
need to
emotional
have
can't
the
be the
moment
focal
in your
point.
mind where you're going to eat again.
Okay.
Because you're not going to strike forever, right? And if it's emotional,
you
you'll
think
hold
it's-
out forever.
I was gonna say if it's emotional, I feel like you're less likely to stick with it because then the minute you don't feel that
that.
anymore.
Rational.
But then you also carry that emotion, right? If you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a hunger strike. And if I was in a bad mood and I did it because I was in a bad mood, then that bad mood is going to sit with me the
Once
entire
people start
hunger
saying
strike.
you won't.
That's why I think you have to find the right emotion because I
You won't do
I
it.
think that, I think like because you're passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
And passion is an emotion,
Yes.
so you just have to make sure that it's the right one
Yeah.
so that they can exist together. Because I think it takes the proper amount of emotion and logic to
What's
make
the
that
opposite
happen.
of passion? Lol.
Anger.
No,
They exist in the same.
you
Yeah,
can
well,
you can have
that's-
no opposite because passion and anger can exist together.
I feel like they're two sides of the same coin.
What's the definition of lackluster? I feel like that would be the opposite of passion.
Lackluster.
I don't know the actual definition of that. It just feels right.
Feels right.
Yeah.
Oh, like, what's the definition?
Definition of lackluster.
The definition
I have
of
my
passion is
article for
doing
the study
something,
also, whenever we're ready for that.
for me, passion would be the emotion of. I don't know how I would properly
like-
describe that.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like passion.
Lacking in vitality, force, or conviction. Uninspired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
lackluster.
Passion would be doing something with force.
Fair enough.
Uninspired.
No lackluster glizzies.
But to be fair though, if
Little do you know, I
was
got
gonna catch Ryan.
I got a belly.
I thought I was gonna
belly
get-
full of passion.
I thought I was gonna
I got 80 cameras in this house, all recording at all times.
I do
For anyone to
honestly,
get caught.
being 100%, like I do feel like
We got
if I
one
feel
on-
like I'm exhausted, this happens every time. There's always a moment. I do feel like if I've exhausted every effort, where I feel like I've done everything I can do, and I'm at the point where I'm like, this tree needs to shake because I'm no longer content waiting. That's when I feel like I'll go to the hunger strike.
Do you think the birth of your son has influenced your decision to hunger strike or not? Or do you think it has no effect
It's
at all?
both ways, because on one side you'd be like, oh no, like, well, don't make any irrational decisions because you have a child to carry on. But then the other side is like, what example are you gonna set?
Don't be a puss.
In reality, what example are you gonna set? Like, I'd rather be the dude where he grows up watching me at least chase my dreams than the person who folded.
Yeah,
Period.
absolutely.
Agree.
100%.
But if you die before
My
you can
dad
watch
be's
me
on
chase
hunger
you, James,
strike.
I don't
Yeah.
think you're gonna die from a hunger
No, 'cause
strike.
No, yeah, because the worst case, I would collapse, get taken to the hospital, they throw me an IV, and my hunger strike would be over. We wouldn't have a choice.
Nice.
They put all the necessary. Look at Eddie. He's like, that sounds lit.
He's like, Eddie was like, wait. Eddie's like, wait. There is. Wait, I can make it.
Yeah. Nah, it's got to be online.
Eddie's
It has
sole
to be-
reason for not hunger striking was the possible
If you buy
realization of
diabetes,
death.
it's
But
just
now that the
Right, it's either hunger
the death
strike-
might not occur.
It's either hunger strike or we fake my death. One or the other.
Not the fake death.
No one likes that idea. Exactly. So hunger strike.
Exactly.
Do you see that episode?
Or
of
we
Friends
put out
where he fakes his death and then nobody comes to his funeral?
Oh,
That would
really?
be it.
That's hilarious.
No.
That would
Damn,
be
and he
funny
paid
as
for the
fuck.
funeral too.
He just had a little thing.
Nobody
at his
came.
house?
Like, not a person.
Okay.
It was like one person.
Have you never seen Friends?
I never
before?
watched Friends.
Oh
I've never seen the
my
episode
gosh.
either.
Okay, so Ross.
Spoiler
He,
alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. He's like,
It's been out for like 15
he's
years
like
now.
on his like college forum for some reason, and he like is not getting the attention that he wants from this forum, and people think he's gay or whatever. I don't really know. And so then they post like this obituary on this forum, and then it gets out to like all of his family and friends too. And he's like, nobody comes. It's just him and his friend in his apartment. Nobody comes. And then in walks this one girl that he had a crush on, and she walks in and she's like, I'm so sad. I never got the chance to talk to him. And he comes barreling out of the room. I'm not dead. You know, I'm here. We can have a chance. And she's like, what's wrong with you? You're so messed up. And she like runs and leaves. So only one person showed
That's
up.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was Ross.
Yeah, typical Ross.
Oh, we got a
We got,
We
a,
got
got
a
a-
crier.
we got a bat call going.
we got a whaler.
Alright, what do you want to do about that?
We could have. We should have set that up because if we pop that screen off,
Okay, we should have popped the window up.
but the door's locked in the back.
What's wrong, babe? Yeah. Oh, here you go, Mia. What's wrong? Wait, hey, I'm gonna FaceTime you.
Technical difficulties
Yeah.
on the air.
Parenting in
that-
the 21st
I wonder if
century.
he-
Big pivot.
Can he answer it with the screen lock on?
You should be able to answer a call regardless.
Carter, look at Daddy's phone. Answer the phone. Answer Daddy's phone.
We're out here.
Dude, see, I was thinking, and that was even more reason. I want to get like the little double doors on this door, like the top and the bottom side.
See, I think if we just slide,
I'm coming,
and then
baby.
slide,
We're
I
coming.
should go.
Daddy's coming.
Our room is gonna be exposed on the podcast.
We're getting full exposure, episode 30.
The
Down and dirty.
Cut out.
Yeah,
slide, he's small. He can get through.
technical difficulty. This is
Hey
literally
there.
quite.
What's up? What happened?
What's up?
What's wrong?
Just got lonely, probably.
What's? Oh, I was calling you.
Come on.
I called Dada's phone because I wanted you to answer.
Mr. Lonely.
We can.
I am so lonely.
Keep it going.
Yeah, keep going.
I have nobody. I'm all my
Alright, so does anyone have having someone?
So I feel like, okay, I did this right. When I asked everybody what I thought the most marketable song was, and nobody answered me. But then,
answered
then eventually
you.
Eddie answered me.
I answered you like a day later.
Yeah.
I remember when my
Jason's
like-
what was my response?
Jason's like, you guys come to my
Remember
birthday.
response, but what exactly did I say though?
I don't know.
Jason sends message. This is what happens. Jason sends message. Do you want to come to my birthday party tonight? Eddie responds yes the next day.
So I was gonna answer, but my answer would not have been the answer that you guys wanted.
What was it?
It would have been California, probably, or Light Up the Sky.
I
And
think
I know that's not the
that's
answer
probably
you
the
guys
most
want.
marketable song.
Well,
I
I
think
do think those are really marketable songs, but I wanted to pick something that
Different.
was yeah.
Yeah, I knew that because you
My
both said that
answer-
before.
was I don't know. I thought the one that I think Projections is one of our best songs.
But it's not the most
But
marketable.
it's like
I
you
wanted
know, yeah.
marketable.
I don't think you
Yeah.
guys have your most marketable song yet. If I'm being quite honest with you.
Yeah, we need.
I think
My
that
opinion-
I think you have really niche
I mean,
songs for
honest with
your.
you, our most marketable song is close. Someone needs to close the door.
not-
That didn't come out though, right?
Wait, which one is the one that we were? Which one was the one that we were recording at the Calibre Gardens? In the like broken down.
That's Brainstorm.
That's Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would say that probably that one.
Wait, we recorded a video for Brainstorm.
Part of it.
Part of
Oh,
it.
we did.
But we
Honestly,
But
I
But it
was
cut out and
I
Calvin
was
didn't get
being
in
a
the-
P word that day because I was scared that we were gonna get trespassed and that my grandma was gonna go to jail with my baby.
Oh yeah,
I was scared.
it's okay.
that was fun.
So what I did was I found this website that takes your Spotify songs, or you can do it for like you. There's a bunch of different stuff. Instagram, they do a bunch of different stuff, and they pitch it for Spotify. They pitch it to playlists. And I never wanted to buy plays or buy followers because that shit's whack to me. But if you can pitch or run ads or whatever, but what they're supposed to do is take the song and pitch it to people who have playlists that people follow those playlists and listen to,
Okay.
and get the songs in those playlists, or whatever they do is whatever they do. So I paid like $70, and nothing's happened yet because the person's still pitching. Is what they say. So if it's all legit, then I was thinking, I was like, when I get back to work, I'm gonna do one of those every single week. That'd be my marketing budget, like that one a week, and just pick a different song every week. Because if it actually works out, it's supposed to get 2,000 to 6,000 different people to listen. And I was like, if you do that every single week, even if you lose 75%, by the end of the year, we could have like a solid amount of people actually listening who stayed behind after I'm sure they take the songs out of the playlist or whatever.
Right.
So there's also, with summer coming up, people are looking for a song to make, specifically on TikTok. They're looking for a song to make it a trend. Like, I don't know what it is, but people just love it. Like, they just picked up the G-Eazy song. It's like, make her disappear, poof, and she's gone. Addicted, don't know what the frick I'm on, or something like that, right? And I don't know why it was a trend. One girl posted it, right? And then all the comments are like, oh, this feels like summer. Like, I'm so happy the summer trends are back. Like, I can't wait to get outside and, like, do blah, 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 blah. So another thing I would say is, like, maybe go through your songs and figure out, like, a 10-second snippet of something that you could possibly try to make a TikTok trend for summer. Something that feels like summer. Maybe one of your, I don't know which song, but...
Carter.
And then, honestly, just, like, even make a burner...
It's an ocean mine.
Even make a burner TikTok account and just all four of you just try to do the trend over and over and over again until maybe that blows up. You know what I mean?
Okay, so to add to that, if we want to throw money at it,
It's the black.
another way we could do is find a bunch of small TikTokers,
Get them
pay
to
them
do
to
it.
do the dance, because
Uh-huh.
the bigger ones copy
Right.
the smaller
The
ones
small
smaller. They all
ones,
copy
right.
each other.
Yeah, and like this one isn't even a dance. Like this literally the first video was this girl, she's standing on the beach and her light, she's walking across the beach, right? And her light dies perfectly when it says make her disappear, poof, she's gone. And it's dying, so it's turning on and off. So it's just like she disappears, she comes back, she disappears, she comes back. And that's literally all the trend is. So now people are doing it with their flashlights where they're recording it and they turn it off when it says she's gone, they turn it back on, they turn it off, they turn it back on. And that's literally all the trend is. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so simple, but it's more about the feel of the song and like being outside than anything.
Yeah.
So make people feel something. Even if it doesn't relate to the song, make them feel something, and then that kind of...
Well, in that way, I think California Light of the Sky are good songs for that kind of thing, because they have that exciting energy, especially Light of the Sky.
But maybe you guys could do a new summer song. Like maybe there's something that you guys could.
Yeah, we could probably from scratch
pop something out real quick for summer.
Yeah, just pop it up.
Easier said than done, but
Sure,
essentially.
A little hot too.
I mean, if we go,
I think the
if we go in,
I think the hardest part is the beat.
No,
Yeah.
this is the reality, I think, when it comes to the music. If we go in and we have an idea and we're like, this is what we want to do, and we actually stick to that idea, we could probably make that result. The problem I always face, which is it's literally the easiest problem to fix, is that like I start to do something, I have an intention, I start to go in a direction, but then I hear something completely different, and I'm like, oh, I like that, and I just go make that, and it ends up being this completely different thing. But if we actually want, like this, we have this intention, we're trying to create a song that is like a poppy song or exciting song, summer feel, that we can make into, like, I could even write my lyrics to make catchy, to try to make, if we're trying to do that specific thing and we stick to it, I think we could be successful.
Yeah, I would maybe say start with some lyrics, because I definitely think you do.
Well,
you do.
what
I
Like,
do
you
go
get
off.
very
Okay, so
distracted
Bree,
by
what
the sound?
The wind,
When
and
do
then
you
I go in
think-
that direction.
when do you think that it's too late in the summer?
It's
Like,
never
what-
too late.
Never too-
Labor Day. Labor Day is too late.
What is that?
Labor Day.
So September.
Yeah.
So basically August. So by August we have to have the song.
I think
Preferably
I think you're gonna have
sooner
better
than
chances
in the
if
early
you've
parts.
got it and you push it all summer long.
Okay, so then why don't you...
And I'm saying to the point where it's obnoxious. And I know that's not necessarily what you want to do, but I think when you realize, like when you go and you actually realize, like, oh, this person blew up, you go and look at what they did. They did it over and over again until it's overkill. Like
Yeah.
every artist is like their best thing. They're like, I'm freaking sick and tired of this thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to perform this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore, right? So, but then that brings people to your page, and then you capitalize on that. So then in between those, you're doing what you actually want to do. You know? That's just part of it that I think is like
I think
unfortunate part.
to add to that, at this point now in my own artistry, I've been doing what I wanted to do for so long that I think to do something that is intentional to try to like actually blow up, it would be take just as much effort as to just make a song anyway, because it's
Yeah.
like all you're doing is going in and making a song.
Honestly, I think it takes less effort because people are simple. People are simple, and I think we overcomplicate it, because what we want to do is very intricate, and I think what the people want is so simple. And if you can mix those, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm down for whatever, for sure.
Like I said, a song that you guys are still gonna like. Don't write something that your heart's not in, but then
Always.
make it something that the people like. A very
Yeah.
simple, stupid trend. You know?
Yeah.
Boo, boo, boo. I don't really care.
I think at the end of the day, it does take
My
a certain
vote
level.
It's hunger strike.
I'm down for I'm down literally for every idea. I will say this though, if you look at a song like, I'll say California, that is a song that is like, and if you, especially the music that we made around that time, up into that song was completely different than everything we made at the time. Because when we sat down, we did that song, we sat down with a dude who, he was a producer he makes pop songs.
Right.
So when we were working with him and we all produced that record together, we're not going to be like, oh, I want you to make the shit we already make. It's like, no, let's make some of the shit that you're making, mix it with what we're doing. So that is a testament of like, I do think it's possible if you have that.
That's just saying. Maybe pull in an outside influence. Maybe call in a favor if you got one. You know what I mean? To make one thing happen. I mean, obviously that one thing is not the end all be all, but whichever direction you want to take it, like you said, you want extras in the video. Find someone that that's reputable, that's got your vote. Pull them in and see what else you can make happen.
I would also say reference tracks are good if you have an idea. I never like to use them, but if
What's
you
a
have
reference
a
track?
reference track is like, I never like to use them really making music, but it's like you take songs and you be like, this is the feeling that we like, this what they did over here you like, and you pull those things and be like, hey, what, you know what I mean, those are reference tracks. So if we're specifically trying to, everyone's so disgusted, but if you're specifically trying to make something that is like you want this desired result, then you have to study what that is.
Take my shirt off.
And the reality is, like, I think in my
Ocean's on arrival.
in my opinion, it's like,
Turn your shoes in.
yeah, turn here, please. Give us your shirt. I do really feel like, respectfully, if you want to sit and you want to make your divine piece of art that is this pure thing to your heart and what you feel like, then do it. Like, take the time and do it. Because why not, right? But like what you're talking about here is this is what's propelling us forward.
I think
You can expand, but this is what's propelling us forward.
I think the goal is like the idea is that there's a certain feeling or there's something in a summertime song, whatever that feeling is, that, or you can find them in different songs that it just feels like that. It's like you want to try to get that feeling. I'm not trying to make It Feels Like Summer because that song already exists.
Right.
So if you really want to feel it, you just go listen to that song. But you do want it. But there's a way to tap into the people, because if you don't make a summer song and the people are summertime and they're listening to summer music, then you're not getting in their playlist and you're not getting spin. So you want to be able to infiltrate their playlist and still bring it back.
Infiltrate the dealer, find the supply.
Exactly.
I think
I
that
feel like a good summer song that is on the repertoire right now is On the Run
What's one?
or Stamina. That's the song. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, because
I would say it's a little too dark though.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Like you have the moments like Betty Stanley and it goes higher, but overall it's more of like I feel like it's an old western.
I think
It's giving
Vibe.
heist.
Yeah. Like we about to rob
Yeah,
this
so
motherfucking
yeah,
bank.
so it's giving you hot vibes. It's like, it's hot outside.
No, I feel like
Not
summer,
bad.
like you're trying to go to the beach,
You're
right?
trying to get like Roxanne.
Trying to hit the
Roxanne.
beach.
Or just like
I think the
Be
answer
outside.
is we just need Calvino to produce more.
do it then. Give
Because
me
I
a
feel
beat.
like every time I started out,
Every time I make a
I
beat,
get
it's
you to
fucking
go-
fire. But I never
I'm saying,
do.
If you let me touch the keys, the problem is I'll hear a sound I like.
I know you
They
do
will
it
go
every
in that
time.
direction.
So every time I'm like,
I know it. I
Yo,
very well know.
here's-
the first step to
here's how we're gonna
recovery
do this.
is admitting it.
The thing is, I don't think it's a problem. I just know what it
And then
is.
Jason will sit down and be like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
what about this?"
You
And
can't let
just
me. You really
mute-
can't. I'm
mute
serious. You
everything
can't let me
I've
touch
done,
the keys.
and then just make a new song.
Because if you let me touch the keys, I will
Yeah,
hear something that I
that's what I'm
like, and then it'll be over from there.
so I'm.
So I'm fine not touching the keys. I can sit second
we
chair
just
and give
need more
ideas.
Calvino produce.
Yeah, get in the studio. I'm down.
And you should. You do have a good.
Balance.
Yeah, I think you lean.
It's because that's the music I like.
I know,
And so
but the thing is
It's
crazy
easy
too,
for me to.
because so Swisher or Whiteout is a wonderful
Oh,
example
yeah, that's true.
of this. I think that is like exactly.
And the funniest part about that song, and that's the reason I was booing, is because that's why I don't like that song.
I know.
Because y'all pressured
Because
me into
it-
making that song.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I've always said
I want to
that
be
like
pressured
when
into
you
making a
when you
song.
write when you write for yourself,
No, you
you
don't.
write very Lupe Fiasco,
Yeah.
very like Logic. You write all those. I didn't mean Logic. I meant NF. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Other
I-
white boy.
I didn't mean. Well, because
very Mac Miller,
okay.
You're very Vanilla Ice.
It's not Logic. It's not Logic. I don't. I was.
You're so.
I was
Very
thinking
Little
of.
Dicky.
Yeah.
Not Little Dicky, but you always like every once in a
Lil
while
Xan.
you'll pop out one of these songs and I'm like,
Lil
you
Peep,
could be a
yeah.
writer. I always say that you should write
Lil
for
Nas.
pop artists because you're very good at that.
Genuinely, as much
Even
as I
if
was.
you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay,
As
I
much
will
as I
say
was
this.
joking, though, I genuinely do think that's the answer
Some
because I feel
BLP
like
kosher.
there's been a lot of you and a lot of Ryan in the like base backbone of what we've been doing.
I agree.
And so,
I
and
don't
this
want-
is some, because even the things that like me and Eddie work on alone have more of that vibe and that feel, because that's just the style
Like
we
the
did.
perfect week. The perfect
yeah.
week is like
That was the style we were on,
Yeah.
and so now that we find ourselves in this transition of like, and that's why I was like, Oceans isn't Oceans anymore. The answer is not no, let's try to do what they're doing. The answer is let's lean into the other half of us.
I like that.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
feel
even,
that.
Yeah, because even I take back what I said about bringing outside influence in. I think you need to focus on more of your inside influence.
Yeah, and to add to that, I made a beat. This happens when I'm in like the space between albums where I like will make beats and shit, and just like see what happens. But like everything all the beats I've been making lately, I'm just like, this fucking sucks. Like I don't like it at all because it's like I'm just tired of hearing my own fucking thing. Because I've produced like over like 800 beats that came into like 500 songs. At this point, I'm like,
And that's the reason I say too.
The horse is
like,
dead.
When I was saying about like the backbone thing, is because even when me and Eddie were up there a month ago screwing around, like there were 3 different things that were like, it's alright, we'll get Jason to fix that. It's alright, we'll get Jason.
And I can do that.
And it's because
I can fix it.
But it's primarily, it's not that.
I
can do the tweaks.
But it's not even that I don't know what to do or what I want to happen. It's just the aspect of like in my brain, it's like, all right, I'll get Jason to put his touch on it. That way we're still here. But now we're, like I said before, we're in this situation where we're like, all right, well, let's try something different. So instead of passing it,
well, maybe we have a strict set of rules. We should. I would be down to try to literally intentionally make. We could do a song first. Start with a song, but it could be a project. But intentionally make it so like these are the rules and regulations. Like what if I don't assist on any of the sounds? I'm still down to assist on drums though, because I can make the shit bang hard. But I can assist on no sounds whatsoever at all. Like none of the sonics except for drums, because I think that I can make the drums hard, but I can still play the back roll, and then we go from there.
Can I make a suggestion? You need to have a list of like sounds you're not even allowed to touch. Like I think
any of the sonic, like any of the instrumental sounds.
Exit out, like delete it from access.
Yeah, like I won't touch them. I won't give any input on it at all.
No, I like no one can touch it. Like I think there are certain.
What do you mean? Like,
sounds
then who's gonna play them?
No.
She means she means because a huge thing that I took note of at the very start, and this is part of the reason that like I'm very selective when I sit in the chair with you, because if I'm so serious, because if I'm not in the mood to like not be combative, I can't, because it'll just lead to me.
Yeah, you actually do have to push back, because I will push.
That's my point. It'll just lead to me being pissed, and so I'll either blow up or I'll fall off.
You don't have to get pissed.
It will.
Let's
but that's on me. I know.
Since we both our names got dropped in here at some point in the conversation, I would like to say there's multiple occasions where I'll listen to what's going on and I'll open the doorway to whatever's next.
Yeah, 1000%.
And that's what I would do. I'll just come on, touch 1-2 things, just open the door.
You do that very well.
It's like, I can
he
see
does.
you're stuck here. Here, go here. And if you don't like it, okay, go somewhere over there.
Yeah.
But that's what
because
Yeah.
even that last one I was working on, I was genuinely stuck on that, and what you added took me in
you
a
realize
whole...
you're the problem.
Well, it's not that. It's almost just like it's almost like when the NASCAR driver hops in the pit stop, and then the crew chief, instead of being like, all right, this is what you need to do, he just like takes the driver out of the car, hops in, and starts
this is the problem.
Ricky Bobby.
In all fairness, besides the industry results,
Magic
in
Man
terms of
comes in.
plays and whatever, that approach, there has been many times where it actually worked and we made something dope. Like California is one of those songs of like me jumping in and being like, yo, let's do this. Or like when we did Tell a Friend. Like you had
yeah,
the
but
original
saying
idea, I was like,
no.
let's
But
do this, and it
California, you
came
didn't
out
jump in.
fucking
You
dope.
didn't jump in and take the sticks. You jumped in and gave your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because man was pretty much on the sticks for a majority of the
I
time.
had to push the
See,
same
like,
way that
I'm
you
gonna
feel
throw
like
a
I had to
closer door
push
out
really
there
hard
also.
on that song because I was fighting the whole time.
But that's the balance because
To make it
because
to
you're
be
not
what
on
it
the
was.
sticks.
Yeah.
If you're on the sticks, there's no fight because you click, you copy, you paste, you mute,
That's
you
fair.
don't.
If you don't fight me, that's gonna happen.
Because the sticks,
Yeah,
whoever's
that's
on the
my
sticks are on the sticks. Who's on the board?
All I'm saying is, no offense, I love you, I love what you make.
Oh, here we go. Round
But-
two.
We go round 2.
That was pretty good. That was like 20 minutes.
I'm
The next
down to
one's
not be
down
on the
for-
sticks. For
That's
the
it,
next,
yeah.
I'm cool with that.
So
I feel like what we have to do is we gotta like get our albums out by the end of the year.
Well, mine's going to be out on my
So
birthday,
like, we gotta start hitting.
When's your birthday, Ryan?
May 25th.
May 25th. Okay.
All right, but okay. In all reality, being
How-
serious, do you guys actually think that you can get an album out this year?
I think if we actually come here like once or twice a week.
If we actually,
Besides
if we like come and see you guys, like more than just
I
once.
think if you guys
It's
didn't
tough.
try to pressure me into trashing
It's
my
tough to get
album
over
I
here.
already had, I would have had it out.
I'm down to use your album, but like I said, we'd have to rework it to a degree because one, it was made on a different software, and two, you use samples.
He's sassy.
There's nothing I can do about the samples.
Like I would clear them for you
That's
if you.
beyond- yeah, if I can clear it, I would clear it. I can't do anything about it. We don't own the property. Can't build on it.
True.
Okay, so what I was trying to say that Calvin said he was going to explain it, but he didn't at all. Was I think there are certain instruments specifics that should not be used when writing this certain feel of song.
Which ones?
Heavily electronically influenced instruments.
You know what's hilarious?
What?
last time I made a beat, like 2 days ago, and I like by the end of it, by the time I like started recording, I was like, this beat fucking sucks. But in my mind, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this like all electric instruments,
That's
like
crazy.
everything electric.
I would kill to hear more, almost acoustic things from you guys. I think
we do make some good acoustic.
I
stuff.
think that it is like, I love y'all's music now, I really do. And this could just totally be personal opinion, and y'all can trash this, whatever. I would kill to hear Oceans produce more acoustic things. I just, and I know people love like EDM and like house party music and all of that, but there's just such beauty in raw instruments, and I think that y'all just like it, knowing you guys in person, my brain gets confused when I hear your beats and your voices, you know what I mean, like to an extent, like something in my head gets lost in translation.
I have had this thought where I feel like we should all pick an instrument, start to play it, and produce an album, and everyone just specify one instrument. Like, if you listen to The Tide, I played a lot of instruments on that album. Like, the song Ocean, every single sound except for some of the drums, I played everything.
Yeah.
All the instruments. But because I was thinking in a more
the black dude always gets zombified first.
Like, if we were to hop up on stage right now, we'd be 4 people standing around with microphones in our hands, and that would be it. Which is not.
That's why I thought.
Problem.
That's why I thought we should enslave the kids to become our band.
But give them little kid instruments.
Yeah, so their
But
whole life is just built.
We're like serious and really took the time to learn one instrument and like really try to like, because I can play any instrument, but I'm not good at any of them. I can play all of them, but I'm not good at any.
You suck.
It's the truth. Like, if you hand me any instrument, I can give you something for a record specifically. Like, if you're like, oh, I need anything,
I feel you on that one.
I can do it. But if you're like, hey, we lost our guitarist, can you fill in? No, I fucking can't. But if you're like, hey, I need a guitar part for this song, I'll give you some
I can do the
shit.
triangle.
I can't. I can't do that. But I can do it for recording. So that's my problem with the instrumentation. But if we actually really want to, which I don't know if we want to do that, but if we really want to, like, I mean, you already have a saxophone.
That's what, yeah.
I'm kind of down to pick an instrument that nobody else picks. Like, I'll let everyone pick first and I'll go last. Because
you want to be different.
I'm so cool.
You're so different.
No, because I
You're
really
not
don't
like
care
other
that
girls.
much about which one I would play.
Someone would have to.
I don't really want to play guitar, though.
You should do drums.
Someone would have to be drums.
Percussions.
Oh, drums would be fun. Yeah.
Or you just go
Get out some anger on the drums.
I know. But then I'd have to buy a drum kit.
Drum bot.
Drum bot.
What's a drum bot?
Regular chef.
I think for current
You can buy those
day,
electric.
for current
The jump
day, the
pad
best
ones.
scenario would
Yeah,
be
and it goes
you
straight
come
to the
across
computer.
That'd be
That
fun.
sound
beach.
that, won't disrupt the baby.
the beach group.
But then
Yeah.
we need
who
that.
are
If you want
just
the authentic sound.
already fluent in the thing, where it's like
Well, if we're down for that, because I have like a fucking
you
10,000
where
drum
it's
sets,
like
so we
because
could
it's beyond
wire the
like,
organic one.
That's not like,
interpersonal connection.
like,
It's like, can you sit?
You just
in a
want the
room and
organic
create too.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a different thing versus like just like hanging out and
Mm-hmm.
having fun or whatever. But being able to like sit and push back
Mm-hmm.
so that your ideas get out and so do, and we all collectively figure out what are the best. Like when
I
the Beast Coast made the album, and it's like Joey
That's the
Badass,
first
Flat
one I
the Zombies, Kirk Knight, Nick Caution, all of them. They made the album. They're doing like their own interviews. Like they would be like the TV, and they'd be like they would dress up and like interview each other and like make jokes and shit. So then they asked Joey. They say to him, I was like, what's your favorite song on the album? And he's like, oh, my favorite verse is on this song. And they're like, oh, we cut you out off that song. He's like, y'all cut me off this song? It was like, but collectively they all felt like, okay, this doesn't fit this. So then, but in his mind, he was like, that's my best verse on the shit or whatever. So it was like, but being able to, as a group, get to that point where you can collectively battle back and forth between ideas.
Yeah.
But as long as the collective idea is to produce the best thing we can produce right now, versus like I want my idea. I want my, because if you have individualistic ideas, we're like this is the best idea, then it's like eventually it won't work. You gotta have that. Everyone's goal has to be to collectively make the best thing we can make.
Yeah.
Right now.
And
I'm the
just
best thing we can make.
to be
Give me
fair-
30 minutes. I'll have it done at the end of the podcast.
to be fair, because
Yeah, no.
because I have
I don't know how long 30
more
minutes.
experience in the studio than everybody else. If you don't push back on my ideas will dominate the land.
I'm gonna start bringing thumbtacks when I know we're gonna be in the studio together.
You're gonna put thumbtacks in.
See, that's not
In his
productive.
chair.
That's
In
assault.
his chair?
That just feels like an unhealthy way to get your point across.
Every time.
So we
Yeah.
can communicate. It's
No,
like,
yes, no,
Yeah, you
yes,
can try
yes,
communicate.
yes.
like I know English.
No, it's like the shock button. You know, every time
You're
you're,
gonna put a
coming to
shock
sit down.
collar?
No, you just
Every
gotta
time
be
he's
like,
coming to sit down, I'm just gonna slide a thumb.
you gotta be able to
Ray will
communicate your
explain the
feelings.
assignment to Calvin later.
Like right, one thing we're teaching Amber right now is when she gets mad, not to be her first reaction, just like try to swing on you and punch.
Yeah, because she
Just like
does
use
do
your
that.
words. Like let's, you hit her with a joke. She
deck him in the face. Deck him in the face.
That's not the strat.
But I told her like
I
she,
think I gotta compromise. We get a Nerf gun, right? And every time we get frustrated and we're just like don't agree with you, we just pow one to
well,
the
but
temple.
that's not fair because if you need to be in control of your own emotions. If you get frustrated, I should be able to shoot you. That's what it is.
Okay, so everybody gets a Nerf gun.
Right.
And no music. Gets
No,
played.
yeah.
And now it's
like,
all.
yo, what level of the Nerf camp?
Now we're on the
All right.
The
There's
first level.
one-
How hard could it be?
Yeah.
There's a spray bottle like cats. I think that's probably. The
I think just
appropriate
words.
solution.
I
Being
think
able
we
to
should
I
all
think-
sit
I
down.
think words.
I
that's
think
the
we
thing.
lock Jason outside of the studio for the first hour and a half.
Right.
Or
I
you
think
just
that's
bring
a
the
good
beat.
idea.
I mean, I don't have to. Like I said, I don't have to input on the sounds. You
No,
you
you
guys
can't
can
either.
create the sounds. If I'm not there, you
No,
need my vibration.
I want Jason there.
You need my vibration.
I just
Who-
want
all
Nerf
right,
Tell
so
you.
gun.
no Jason, no Eddie.
I want Nerf gun.
Now it just seems like Calvin's making music by himself.
That was his plan all along. That was his plan.
He's like, Calvin,
Best
how do I get
song
the
we've
studio to
ever
myself?
made. But
I'm down to
Really,
it.
any
But
day
you
that
don't
I'm
have
working, you
podcasts.
can just go to the studio.
I will say this:
Hockey.
when we did One Taste, which is one of I think the best songs on Ryan's album, I didn't have any say or anything on the beat. I literally just hopped out the shower and I heard the beat and I walked in. I was like, "Yo!" And then I had a pretty good idea for the hook, and that's how that song came to be.
Great idea, you guys. Okay, they're probably gonna be off for like a week, so we should just do another spin the night, like where we come over, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we hit it all day, all
Done.
night, and then the whole next
We
day.
need to have a goals what we want to accomplish. We should
Yeah.
we should
Okay,
shoot a
so-
music video that day.
Like a
we
whole-
should, I think we should like make like an EP.
A day long
That's
EP.
just-
I'm
Like
down.
5 songs.
I'm down.
I think-
let's shoot for 7.
I think you
I'm
gotta.
so
I
down
think
for
this is
that.
the thing.
Down for 7.
How long have we talked about project? This is what I think. We should focus
I
on,
said, well, like, we
we
do
should
it one
focus
day,
on
one
getting
day,
a
do
song.
all of it.
and then getting a video and
I
figuring out
think
how do you
that's
market
right.
this song and
Oh.
this video together.
Let's do it all in a day, like
And
type
then you
shit.
do that.
We do the song in the morning, the video in the day, like the same song.
I know
and
we can.
finish it.
That's what, no. Let's take 2 whole days. Let's take a day and a night.
2
So
days.
a day and a night on the song, and then the next day we'll do the video, and then we'll part ways.
First step. Because at the end of the day, like that's what I'm thinking now. Like the
For
beat
editing.
that
I
we
don't think
made.
it would take a whole day to make the song.
Give me 30 minutes after the
This is the thing,
podcast.
I think you're underestimating all the way to the mixing and mastering.
The missing mastering could happen after though. It doesn't happen that day.
But I think like because
It
there's
would
some,
be cool if we did.
Because
though.
there's some days where you walk in there and you might think of your shit right away, but I can go upstairs right now, slap 5 sounds together, and just go say some shit on the microphone.
Yeah.
Is that song gonna be good or like great? Versus like
You're
you don't
not
know how
me,
long
though.
it might
No.
take. So my mind is like
like,
because when we went to California, we were like, oh, let's make an EP,
That was
and then we
the
made 2
idea.
songs, and they were fucking great songs.
And we
But if
spent 70% on California.
on California
like
and 30% on Light of the Sky. So, but it was like, but only that's all we needed was 30% for here, 70% based on the thing.
And we started a third one, but it didn't
But yeah,
work
it was
out.
like we like ran out of water for that
yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, like there's always long-term goals like album, this, that. But at the end of the day, it really is you got to take each step all along the way. So like if for instance for you, for Eddie's album, whenever it comes out this year, next year, the year after that, whatever. In my mind, it's like you got to get to the point where like, here's my song, and then here's my second song, here's my 5th song, here's my 10th song. Oh, now I have songs that like right now for my album, I'm like I got like 10 songs, and I'm trying to get to like 14 or 15. So I know I'm not there yet, and it's like, but at the same time, I didn't start with like I'm gonna get this shit now. It's like I made a song. There's a song from 2000. like early or late 2021 or like 2, and there's a song from 2023, and there's some songs from 2024, and it's all like can jumbled into one. Or you get to the point where you have all the beats lined up and you can just go in there and you can just freestyle everything. You just rip it, like when Jason did 8 Love Signs. That was a day where he just like picked up, but he also had some songs like
I had
like,
5. I recorded 9 songs. 8 made it. 5 of the beats were already done. I made 4 from scratch.
Yeah. So it's possible, but it's really
and I
the
recorded
energy
every
of what
verse that day
of what you want.
1 or 2.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want the best, what was it, the best week or
Perfect week.
the perfect week, that takes the dedication of we got to do this every day, boom, 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 and you put that whatever. So if you're gonna do the month or whatever, that's what it takes to do that. But it's like, but realistically, if you guys are only coming here once a week for the podcast, and then but you're not bringing any beats from whatever from any other source, it's like realistically, if you think about how much time you spend doing all this everything else you have to do in your life, whether it's your job or your responsibilities, it's like realistically, like how long do you think it's gonna like how it's gonna take some time. But if you get on a shorter goal where it's like, okay, here's a song, here's a video, and then now it's like, okay, we did a song, okay, now we got people working on the video, breeze on the market part, boom, and now it's working, and now we have this song 3 weeks later, and now it's like now we're trying to do that we got short attention spans nowadays. You got to really try to catch the wave of people and then bring them back to the shore of all this music that you have. And then when you bring them to the shore, now you have something to give them. The end of the year, I have that idea that could lead you into the next year where it's like now it's every day. But in the sense of like for now, it's like really realistically, if we've been talking about this and that for however long and nothing's come, then it's like, okay, maybe it's not like, maybe that's not how we get there. Maybe it is the one
stroking it right.
One step at a time, slow and steady. It's not about how big it is, but how you use it. You know what I'm saying? And you get to that one, because in my mind it's like how many? Oh wait, you got that?
That was so nice.
All right.
That was so nice.
But if you pick like for instance like if you go one by one and you have like we have a song with the video and you can market that, it's like literally like little movies. You're pushing that. The way Russ blew up was by putting for 2.5 years a song out every week, and he had made 11 albums before that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if that's the approach, then it's like, okay, I would rather be able to be like, because then at the same time it's like, oh, now we made a song, now we can have fun making the video, now we can promote it on the podcast, all along the way. So it's like instead of this whole one big thing and then it leads up to the depression of how many people listen to it or whatever. It's like all on the way. We get to make some music. We get to hang out and record some video. We get to laugh and do this. We can promote this. And there's a new one coming soon where it's like instead of like here's an album and 3 months now it's been out for 3 months. It's like here's a song. 2 weeks later here's another song. Like oh here's another one I put out before. And 2 weeks I got you on another one. And you can just keep giving people. And the argument is music videos don't hit the same now than they might have whatever. But I still think it's still something to it.
The only reason they don't is because people don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, and we don't have to spend so much money on this big budget. But just get how do we get the idea, and then slowly we're gonna get better and better at the animating, at the green screen, at the editing, at the music making process as a group. All the things are gonna continue happening, but it's not so much pressure on this one thing. Mm-hmm. It's like because at the end of the day, we were talking about the logo, Jason and I last time. If you look at the logo. Right, the way I look at it is different now. Like the waves, this feels that's the podcast. So that's a big part of the thing. The music, I would say, is the sun. That's a big part. And then underneath, there's all those planets. Those are all individually something that we're gonna do, and then the stars in between. So it's like it's not just music. It's not just if we're gonna do so much, you can't just do one because everything else is gonna fall. But then they say if you don't master one thing, then you're not gonna master anything. So it's like okay, we all have to master something. And together we're gonna have everything, and that's what we have to all figure out. What is our thing, or two things, and then we can put the time in, and we all get to the point where now we're all working on full cylinders. The garden's growing, and the Instagram garden's growing. You know what I'm saying? In all different aspects, you're dealing with the kids, and the kids are joining the Oceans on Arrival team. You coach them for a couple years, whatever. You saw them, but whatever. Now in middle school, they got the new shit for their friends to get to their friends, and then back. And that's how you do it, because at the end of the day, these people who are already on the planet for so long, they're already set in their ways. But the kids that are going to school, they're fresh. That's how you get it. That's how you get the generational thing where it's like, boom. When I was 17, 16, 15, 14, like even Kendrick listened to like 2012 Kendrick, and then Eminem, like those people like Eminem I don't listen to the amount of Eminem that I used to listen to, but he's still a staple in my presence because of when I listened to him, when I found him, you know, and then all those different time periods. So it's like, and then on top of the fact that it's all so much different music, like you can show him the newer stuff, you can show him the new stuff, you can show him the Tide, you can show him when you put it out, where you were in this year. So it's like all these different things, but at the end of the day, is we need to collect the people. So it's like, how are we going to collect the people? And then at the end of the year, if we have this idea that it's like, boom, we've collected 500 people. Now you got bang, 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 bang into the new year to whatever we want to do next.
Okay, so here, I think in terms of approach, if we can make this happen, what we could do is pick a day.
You can go right there.
Make a song.
Embarrassing. No, I can't. No, I literally cannot.
I've done it like 5 times.
Jason, you. Never mind.
And I pooped in there. No. Alright.
I can't say that. I'll work the nerve up to go in a minute.
I never forget what we're
Oh,
talking about.
see yourself and go in.
And he's like, and I don't aim.
Have fun cleaning that up.
So I think what we should do to add to this then, if we're keeping that simple approach, if we spend one day making a song, and to add to all the points, I'm perfectly okay just mixing it. Like I don't actually have to be a part.
You could be a part of that one. You're not gonna be a part of my 30 minutes. So.
What's your 30
My
minutes?
30 minute
After this?
perfection after this.
He said he's.
Oh, you're gonna go? Oh, I don't give it. That's fine.
He said.
He's like, I only need 3.
But what I'm
It's
saying
like-
is, we can take that approach to check all the boxes. Like whatever it is that whatever anyone wants to conquer, I'm totally down for it. So we make a song, then we spend whatever the next day of that week is. It doesn't have to be the next exact day, but whenever we have the time, make a video for it. Then do some marketing in whatever aspect. The song to actually drop on all the platforms will take longer. So if we get weeks ahead, like the podcast, if we were actually at weeks ahead, it'd be easier because then we can literally market everything the day of. Like the song and the video drop on the same day and all that. The song's going to take like 3-4 days to drop when we post it to like Spotify and all that. So if we get a week ahead, it'd be better. But anyway, we spend like South Park, right? We spend the week on that one song. And we just do that every single week. We make a video and a song every single week for whatever it is. And we don't have to spend a bunch on the budgeting, whatever, like Ryan said, we can do. Whatever I feel like would be cool is we show the extent of what our skills are. I think that musically and lyrically and things like that, like when I take myself as a musician, I feel like I do have a certain set of skills that I've accumulated over the years I've been doing this. But when it comes to the video, I don't have those same set of skills. So you take a song and you do the video might not be as intricate or whatever as the song because I haven't put that much time into that. But then you take that into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, but we just take it to the best of our abilities. Even if the green screening is like garbage and you can see the outline and it just looks fucking terrible, but it's the best that we could do at that time, which would make it funny. It would make it comical to a point. Like, you ever seen that Post Malone video where he's just like dancing on one of his like really old songs? Mm-hmm. It's like hilarious for everybody because even Jack Harlow's like, when they show him as a kid when he's doing, you know what I mean? Have you seen those ones? Mm-hmm. It's like it has a level of like this, you know, it's the hustle that you had. It's not about the production value. It's like the hustle that you had. I mean, do you like a Tarantino movie because of the explosions, or do you like it because of the writing and the story?
I like it because it says Tarantino at the start.
I think the big thing is
there's a reason why you like that, you know.
I think
if he was a trash
it's
director, then
we all have long-term goals, but that's a long-term idea. So we just gotta start accomplishing short-term goals. And that's it. Like, even for me, like,
and honestly, what you're saying is actually like we could be like, the beat is 30 minutes. You get 30 minutes to make the beat. That's what we're doing, or an hour if we need to stretch it. Then everyone has 30 minutes to write. If you can't get your verse in 30 minutes, then you're not on
it.
song.
Exactly.
That's what I'm about to go do right
Yeah,
now.
I'm definitely down like that. And I can mix the shit. Maybe give me an hour, but if it's 30 minutes, I'll do it in 30 minutes. But I'll do it better in an hour if it comes down to it.
Yeah,
I can master it in like 5, but
and also for me, like,
taking a bath,
like catching up.
Filling up that bath.
What day?
So you had to clean up
Comes out.
What day is
Comes out soaking wet. It's yellow all over his shirt.
March 24th. So it pretty much took me 2 months.
To when I really 2.5 months to really catch up, and those are all short term, whatever. But also because it wasn't like I could post one every day.
Good job.
Finally learned how to use the bathroom.
Close the door.
Did you aim?
Close the door. It smells like asparagus.
Drink some water.
Close the door.
Drink some damn water.
close the door. Eddie's like, that's my favorite song.
Doors open before.
Not even out there.
But we didn't want it.
But you didn't pee in it before.
Yeah.
Ryan's like, yeah, I agree. He's like,
So
I was like honestly getting like to my like just acceptance or like full realization of like short term goals. Like like technical difficulty idea. Yes. The best part about that is that it happens and then we literally say the idea. Like I literally like think of the idea. I'm like, this would be dope, and then it's in the video. Like that's fucking fire.
Yeah,
I don't know how people are ever gonna watch that, but it's fucking fire.
We gotta make time for the main title card. Because that's something I keep...
Yeah, like, and that's why also another thing. I was like, all right, like, if whatever the idea, like, in my mind is like, but I can't fold on my timeline anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so I just put out mine. But then Jason came, he was like, okay, I did this to it because of his opinion. So I was like, then we moved into this studio, so I put his on there now. And until I see the next thing.
I think it should be this. If we slow-mo the fade in and fade out.
What I want to do for our actual intro is play with this. That's the reason I keep saying, like, it's so important for me to really figure out how to animate, because I want to,
I haven't heard that.
But it's two things, right? Like, one...
Because I want the waves to fade in. I want there to be, like, a clash. I want it to be a little bit of everything, to where it's that image, and then this comes out of the fire, and then it...
I mean, because I always view, like, eventually we're going to have...
super duper lit when we get real deal animation. Like, the freaking sun just, like, appears, and it's, like, fire, then, like, the planets, like, circle themselves in, and the waves come in. You know what I mean? That's what you're saying?
That's what I just said.
Of the animation?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And that's
I thought you meant, like, just have
I want it to be a culmination of everything. From that first picture, this coming out of the fire, which is where the sun comes in. And
that'd be lit.
Yeah, and we have an intro scene.
Or the sun come out from the back or something.
It could be really cool if it's, like, completely animated, right? And then you have it slowly fade to where it's in actuality, right, on this wall. And then it also fades out to a picture of you guys just sitting here, or like a video.
I honestly do like the idea of having candid videos too. Yeah. Like whenever, like eventually we'll have guests on or whatever. But then like, just behind like the easiest way for me to describe it is the one shot when we were at, was it Stanford? We were at whatever, we played the bocce ball in the chest, and then we were playing basketball, and you put that on Instagram. It was like this shot. I was like, that's just so it like, and there's music. It just like captures you in. Like it's only for a second, but it was like.
Oh, that was Sammy.
Yeah, it was like we played
the giant bocce ball.
Yeah, there was a trampoline in the ground.
The baby.
That was Sammy.
The baby.
Yeah, and there was just a little basketball hoop, and all of a sudden, like I just shot the ball, and Calvin went to block it, and it went in. It was a nice shot. It was like that little candid thing.
I gave it to
him.
him.
It was like that's why I feel like a couple of the shots that I even got at the beginning of this was giving.
Yeah, and then also I thought taking a clip of like when we all laugh. Yeah, that's all. That's I think also will be also dope to put in there. But in my mind, I was like, I know this will happen. I know it'll get better. We'll have more camera angles. We'll have eventually someone will remember the drill and we'll have the TV on there. All this shit will happen. But I was like, until then, I'm going to use what I have. So I did that. And then for now, the best thing to promote is Jason's album. So at the end of the video, it comes into his album. And I put thanks for watching in purple, green, and yellow. And I put go stream the Guru in orange. So subconsciously, there's parts too where it's like there's stuff in there that's like, it might not, it's simple. But it's more than that.
Yeah, we're doing it.
And that point, it was like, and then the first one I did like an animation. But I was like, I'm not wasting my time doing this. Like, when that doesn't even look crazy. So I was just like, I will do this later. But I figured out how to do it, you know. And even since all on the way, it's like I've learned more about the program. I can do the time code thing. I've learned more and more. So as we do the different things, where we do ideas, or we try to animate this, we're only gonna get better. And then when we meet people who do it, like someone who's really, I'm an animator, then it's like you can do a loose idea for him and be like, this is what I want, boom, you know what I mean, and then they can, and you pass it off. Like for instance, Kaylee, like right now I'm waiting for Kaylee to hit me up because I want her to basically teach me how to deliver my idea to her, and that's what I want to do. So when I have an idea, I can do it and deliver it to her. You can finish this. I can forget about it. It's gonna come back to me exactly how I want it to come back to me, or she thought of another idea, she added to it, you know, versus like having to like every step of the way be like, oh, this and that,
and then add this now and now do this.
Versus like, here's the product, it's at like a 50%, just we get it to 100. and versus like here's a 10% sketch and bring it to life, you know?
Because I
So that's me
really
personally.
want to animate my technical difficulty so bad.
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be dope.
So bad.
Like
I
the
like
crane?
it's
Yeah.
everything.
It'd be cool at the end where like it drops the piece
And
whatever.
everything's fixed.
It'd be cool if like the eye like bled or something, not bled,
Uh-huh.
but something like cried maybe or some shit like that.
Like I got
Little
big
tissue
ideas.
wipes it
Well,
away.
and I don't know if I've ran you through it. I know I showed you, like, I basically drew out, like, stock motion of, like, the concept of how I want it to work and look. And so, like, the hammer swing, like, there's a lot of.
But also, it came down to I knew that I was like, all right, these are like it'll all come. So it was like all I can do is what's in my hands.
You just got to
the
stroke.
point of the first time we talked about it today or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, when it comes, like even the other day, I was like, yo, bro, can you put the podcast on the computer? And he's like, yeah. I got home from work and it wasn't on there. So I was like, but he was busy. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to go. I was like, I'm just not meant to do it right now. But then he came in the room. He's like, oh, I didn't say anything. He's like, oh, I need to put that. So then he did it. So I was like, all right, it's time for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, but I'm going to send the messages out. And then once it happens, then I can, whenever it enacts on my plate, I'll do that. On top of the fact that we mentioned albums, like I am trying to get this album out on my birthday. So now that I've freed up all this time, now I can actually do that. Because when I was in the studio making a song, it's like everything else in the back of my head, money and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, okay, boom, that shit's out the way. It's going to be 2 hours a week, 2 hours of the podcast, 2 hours to edit max every week. I have way enough time to do that. And now I can spend all these other hours. It's going to come out Wednesday at 12. And people are also saying having that thing where it's like, if it comes out every Wednesday at 12 and then it doesn't come out, there might be someone like Pokey Sparky who's waiting for like, oh, where is it? Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, you let people down.
You know, versus like they know I got like they even look forward. It's like their hump day, boom, like middle work lunch break. I can pop this, or like on my way home from work tonight, I can pop this podcast.
Yeah, because when you do have those things that you wait for, like we play Fortnite. We're playing a lot of Fortnite now, and the store used to refresh at 7, and it went to 8. The one day where we were like, it was like 7:30, like, oh shit, let's go check the shop. We like to look at the new shit that comes in there, and it's not refreshed. You're like, oh, what the fuck? Or like when the new pass drops, they say, oh, it drops this day, and then the whole day the game doesn't work because they're like trying to fix it or whatever, and it's disappointing. Like as a fan, you're disappointed because you're like, oh, you told us this, and you didn't do it. You didn't deliver. So it's like, I think that is important to deliver on time every single time, and don't miss a beat.
Word of 2024 is Deliverance.
Deliverance.
I can live with that.
Word.
Deliberate deliverance.
Deliberate deliverance.
Deliver it.
Jelly birds.
Post it.
But
Posted.
I am.
Sticky note.
Yeah, I think that was
Calbino.
good. That felt like the segue.
So that's what I was trying not to say.
What?
What Bree just said.
What?
When I repeated Ryan's posted.
I don't know.
I am Calbino.
That's it.
Yeah,
After
I felt like we
after
hit
the next
I
30
felt it was like an
minutes.
air balloon, like the air balloon ride, and then it hit the ground, and we were just like remembering like. We were
Do you
still,
remember
like,
when you
you're
saw
still
that?
like felt like you're in for a second. You're like trying to get your okay. Then my hop off.
Yeah,
It
grounded.
just felt like a grounded. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
I am
Indigo Ryan, the
Calvino.
Navigator.
Possibly the
When
future
it came,
producer.
Episode 30. Calvin was supposed to tell a story.
No, I wasn't supposed to.
No,
tell
he
story. I
was
supposed
he
to have
was
my
very
air cannon.
adamant about having the air cannon,
Yeah.
and I knew for a fact that he would.
We don't
I
get
wasn't.
enough comments.
I wasn't gonna say
That's a
anything
bad
about
I
it.
have everything I need for it.
But
We
I was
don't
just saying
get
that
enough-
on
You
that
have an air
day.
cannon? I have everything I need for it. We just don't get enough comments for me to.
But
actually
it's
go
episode
through and
30.
Find the hot
All I'm
button.
saying
That's the
is
only
it's
thing
episode
I'm
30 and there's no air cannon,
Yeah.
and that's
I
what I
gotta
thought was
get
gonna
that.
happen.
I'm building it.
Back to episode what episode was that? I don't even remember what episode that
I
was.
just have
But
to get it. But we don't have enough comments for me to.
no, it was recent. It was like 20 something. It was I think it might have been us. It might have been the one when Nahi was born.
Yes,
It
please.
might have been 24.
Or just
I
like
think.
print out a crap ton of. If you come to me
Because he
with
was
a crap
very
ton of
adamant.
topics,
Like,
I'll
I'm
have.
gonna come with it. And I was like, all right. So I was just like,
I
but to be fair,
yeah.
I never really said that.
Nobody
No,
believed in
I
it.
never said that you wouldn't do it.
You won't.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
did.
No, I
Roll
didn't.
it back. I'm gonna find that.
Said he wouldn't.
I know somebody.
In my
out
head,
there.
you can look at my face in the
Maybe I was just
moment.
like, all right, screw y'all. Then I'm not gonna do it. No, everybody's hating on this air cannon. I have.
That's a bad excuse.
For it.
You
If Eddie
can-
says you're not gonna do it, they're like, screw you, fine, I won't do it.
You won't.
I've got enough. Else
Calvin's
to
only.
work
He's
on.
like, you won't. He's like, yeah, actually, no, I'm not gonna do it.
I got enough to work.
I think everybody's.
But-
You will.
Give me comments
You'll
on
do
this.
that, okay?
Give me comments. Give me questions. Give me topics, and I'll put it in the air.
If you, how many do you want?
Wait, if Pokey says in the comments, give me that air cannon. Are you
Say,
gonna-
Bino, we want
Hell
an
yeah.
air cannon.
Hell
Bino, we want an air
Pokey-
cannon.
especially for Pokey. All
Bino, we
them,
want an air cannon.
I don't care. Pokey, if you want it, I will make it.
How many topics do you want?
Just enough to
35.
fill a chamber, so it's not just like.
What's it? How big is
launching-
the chamber? Sorry, no.
It's
Your mom,
so I'm the base of the,
Our house
the base
in
of
the middle of the street. Our house.
Imagine like the top of a 2
Implied.
Right? That's basically what I'm filling up.
We do
All
not
right,
have any rights.
freestyle episode. We'll pivot back to our original idea.
Oh, freestyling.
30
Okay.
minutes.
Your mom's a hoe.
I love you guys.
See you next time.
I guess so. I guess so.
You're in charge of the
Bars.
remote.
on the
You're in
guru.
charge
Bars,
of the
bars.
remote.
Indigo Ryan and
In
Navigator.
between
I don't know where the
Jack
remote
and-
is. So.
Albino.
Held that
Oh.
remote the entire time, and then
Boom.
you couldn't even
My
remember
mom, I
it.
missed it.